Alright guys, welcome back on the channel. Listen up, the last 90 days I completely shifted my life. I'm talking health, I'm talking wealth, and I'm talking relationships. And in this video I'm going to show you how you can do this in the upcoming 90 days as well, and how we are going to make a game plan for you. I'm going to talk a bit more about my own story so you understand why I'm sharing this, and let's just dive deeper into it. If you're new to the channel, by the way, my name is Camille. I also go by the name of Trading Wizard, and on this channel I share the reality of day trading instead of all of the nonsense you see online. I'm talking about free signals, call groups, and all of the nonsense. Okay, I just want to show you the reality of the life of a day trader. So, first of all, this video will be as valuable as you want to make it. That's something you need to understand. Knowledge is nothing without implementation. I think that we're living in a information crisis at the moment. A lot of people, they always think, yeah, I need more information, I need more information. In my opinion, it's the exact opposite. You need less information and more implementation. So, when you're watching this video, please make sure that you have a pen, make sure that you have a notebook, and write everything down. You can watch this entire video, but if you're not going to implement what we are going to discuss, this will be literally useless. And you can watch 20,000 more videos about it. If you're not going to implement it, it won't be useful. Now, I want you to understand that these days you see kids making online crazy amounts of money at young ages and this and this and this. I want you to understand you need to shift that instead of jealousy and envy towards motivation. This was for me in the beginning such a big thing. I didn't grow up rich. I grew up actually pretty poor, okay? But I grew up in a rich neighborhood. And this was something for me that was very like frustrating, because all of the kids, they went on crazy vacations, and the only thing I did was basically telling stories what I did in my neighborhood in the weekend when I came back to school, okay? Until I realized, listen up, if these kids can do this, it means that at the end of the day, it is possible. There is a possibility for me. And I would say that this is still one of my biggest forces in life, that I see everything is possible. Everyone around me, if I see so, I literally met a kid when I was around 19. I was already a multi-millionaire. Then I met a kid who was 12 and he made 17 million with NFTs. Then I realized, okay, the world is absolutely crazy. But at the end of the day, if he can do it at 12, trust me, there's a lot possible. Okay, so when you're watching this video, have an open vision. Now, let's go to this one, the disclaimer. Everything I will tell you is from my own experience, okay? So everything I'm going to tell you here, I believe in it. Why? Because I did it myself. Everything I say is straight from the heart. One of the reasons why I make this video is because my father passed away 3 months ago. And that was for me one of the moments when I had to say, instead of seeing this as one of the worst possible things to happen in my life, I need to use this as fuel to go 20 times harder in life. And that's what I'm going to show you in this video as well. Everything I will say will be aimed to make you a better person, okay? So again, I was literally saying all of these words to myself, and I'm saying it to you now. Everything I will say in this video is aimed to make you a better person. Everything will be raw, and I won't have a filter on it. So if you think that I'm too harsh in saying things, just go listen to someone else, okay? Now, my story. I lost my father 3 months ago, so around 90 days. I was 98 kilos at 1 meter 76. To put that into reality, I was basically just a fat you-know-what. As you guys can see right here, this was me, okay? Again, I'm not tall, okay? 98 to 99 kilos. At this is basically just obese. So I decided to change everything, since I saw that not only I became fat, but my performance in everything went down. I didn't wake up with any motivation anymore. Every single day, once I woke up, my energy was just drained. I didn't see the world from a bright vision anymore, okay? So when this happened, like every single day, it felt like I was in a loop, almost. This is my father, what I'm making the video for, and every time when I look at this picture, I'm just, I'm happy, man. I'm happy. Okay, let's continue. So I knew that something had to change, okay? My excuses became my motivation. What I want you to do is I want you to write down all of the excuses why you can't do certain stuff. Okay, so I want you to write down all of the excuses. What I did is I read one of my favorite books after I made all of the excuses. It's called Extreme Ownership, and I looked at every single excuse, and I was asking myself, who did I blame for this? And I've seen one thing. One of the biggest problems you can make is blaming other people for your misery. Why? Because you're not taking ownership anymore. And one of the worst things that is going to happen is you won't be able to help yourself anymore, because now you put the problem at someone else who doesn't care about you. The only one who actually fully cares about you is you, and hopefully your parents as well. Okay, so all of my excuses became motivation instead. Every single excuse became the start of taking ownership. My hunger for food became motivation, okay? So in the beginning, when I was hungry, I said to myself, yeah, but my father is so sick, and yeah, and this, and this, and this. So you know what? I can just eat. I completely switched the mindset to listen. At the end of the day, every single time when I feel hungry, it is this belly that is getting eaten up by a force that wants to see me grow, okay? At the end of the day, if you just look at the simple factor of life, comfort kills, pain grows, okay? So every single time when I felt hungry, I knew, okay, it is for the better. So my tired feeling became a source of energy. Every single time when I felt tired, I knew one thing. If I'm not going to do anything because of this feeling, I will always stay tired. It's better to be tired from doing other stuff. So every single morning, I made a list of 5 things that brought me closer to the life that I wanted to live again. And this is when every single time I had like the little bread crumbles of success that brought me back my confidence, okay? So the feeling of feeling sorry for myself in general became my superpower. And I was hooked and went all in. And this right here was a picture of yesterday, okay? It's quite a difference if you see this and if you see this. So long story short, I lost 17 kilos in the last, it's not even 90. Like, I'm doing this now for 6 weeks, okay? So I'm 6 weeks into my 90 days plan, and I already lost 17 kilos. I learned to use all of my pain to motivate myself again. And I'm talking about literally pain of losing my father, okay? That is one of the worst pains that people can have, and I still turned it into one of my biggest strengths. I made more money in trading in 1 month than the average 3 months, okay? How? By literally having the bread crumble checklist again, where every single time I said, listen up, I need to do X every single day, do it motivated, do it tired, do it irritated, do it happy. I just did it, okay? And besides that, I finally have a reason to shop again because all of my clothing became way too big. I went from a size extra large, now almost back to a small medium again. So I can go to Loro Piana and shop some more. Okay, besides this, I stepped back into the identity of who I know I can be. And if you're watching this right now, and if you're struggling in life, we all know that there is a version of you that you love, okay? We all know that version where you wake up and every single time you just feel happy that you are in that version, the energy, the motivation, the confidence. I finally got that back after proving myself that I'm worth it, okay? So when we're going to this, we are going to make the 90-day battle plan, okay? In order to do this in the right way, we need to become aware of the current self to create the new self. Okay, so we need to become aware of the miserable self to create the good self. Or maybe for you it is not miserable, but it's the average self to become the good self. Or maybe it's the good self to become the great self. Okay, so the new self needs to have the right skills and discipline as tools. So we are going to focus on 3 things. We are going to focus on health. We're going to focus on wealth, and we're going to focus on relationships. The upcoming 3 months can shift your entire life with 180 degrees. You will either have 3 months of progress or you have 3 months of regret. If you're watching this video now, it will be your decision, because at the end of the day, you are aware of it now. So from here, you will have 3 months of progress or 3 months of regret. So let's continue to this one. Let's take a look at the current self. I want you to take out your phone and I want you to check a couple of things. First, I want you to check your bank balance and ask yourself, are you satisfied? Write it down on a piece of paper. Then you're going to take a look at your screen time. The average screen time, unfortunately, at the moment is more than 5 hours a day. So this basically means that you always, like when I'm looking at most people and when I'm looking at most people on Instagram who I speak to, I currently have more than 150,000 followers and I have a lot of conversations with them. One of their biggest problems is I don't have time. First thing I ask, oh fine, show me your screen time. Boom, 5 hours on socials, okay? What I want you to ask is how long are you on social media and then do you actually benefit something from it instead of just quick dopamine spikes? For most people, this is not the case and they are just wasting time. Besides this, take a look at your current For You page on Instagram or any social media platform and you will see what you currently are. So when you're looking at your For You page, it's basically just a algorithm that feeds you exactly what you want in life, okay? So what you currently have, your current self, if it's full of girls, if it's full of watching other people, their lives, you are not focusing on what you want to be in life. Become the main character of your own life instead of the just a bad side character in someone else's life. Stop speculating on other people's life and start creating your own. Now, besides that, write down your current weight and write down the average net worth of your 3 friends who you hang around with the most. At the end of this, you're going to grade yourself from 0 to 10 on all of these metrics, all right? Be completely honest to yourself. Now, after this, you're going to create the goals. So you take out your phone and you're going to check, okay, in the upcoming 3 months, I want an increase in bank balance with X. In the upcoming 3 months, I want a decrease in screen time with X. In the upcoming 3 months, I don't want this For You page anymore because I don't have the app anymore. Good, yeah? Write down how much weight you are going to lose or gain in the upcoming 3 months and write down what the average net worth is of your upcoming network that you are trying to make, for example. Okay? Then you are going to write down a grade that you want to be able to give yourself in 3 months. Never give yourself a 10 because you always want to have some room to grow. Now, the car waiting analogy is one of my favorite analogies ever. So when you're looking at this, from here you have to make a decision. This is a car, okay? And this car, he knows he wants to go from A to B. So he knows that he wants to go from this to the other one, okay? Now, one of the biggest problems is in the road itself, there will be a split road. And what most people have is they know exactly where they want to go in life, but during these split roads, they don't make the decision. So from here, we have to make a decision. Never be the waiting car. This car now, instead of taking a left or a right, is going to stand still and is going to wait for the upcoming 3 months. Does it make sense? If you ask this yourself, the answer is most probably no, okay? What I always say is make the decision, okay? When you're looking at this, understand that even if going to the left wasn't maybe the right way, you will find it out on the way. And what will you do? And what will you do afterwards is you simply say, hey, this one was wrong. It maybe cost you 1 day or 2 days or maybe even a week. You can drive back and still go in the other way. It will cost you way less time than 3 months of waiting, and at least now you gained experience. So I always say, fuck around and find out. Now, the path. I want you to understand nothing will go as planned. You will have setbacks. It will be boring. It will be frustrating. And one of the worst things, most probably no one will believe in you. I'm sorry to tell you. Most people, they will say in the start, yeah, good luck. Then they're quite almost ignoring you. And then at the end, they will ask you how you did it. One of my favorite sayings in life is from Gandhi. First they laugh at you, then they ignore you, then they ask you how you did it. So when you're looking at this, you just need to have a strong belief and commitment that you can actually do this. So let's continue to the Kruger effect. And this is one of my favorite effects when you're looking at life. Especially if you understand this, life becomes way easier. So when you're looking at starting something new, it will almost always go in this cycle. Where you have a peak, where something is very fun, so you may start trading and now you have the feeling that you are unbeatable. Your first couple of trades went into the right direction and now you feel like you are the man. You go to the gym in the beginning and boom, you know how the bicep curl works, you know how the chest press works, and now you feel like a man. You maybe ordered your first creatine, now you are a beast, okay? You maybe made your first profits in the markets and you're a beast. Now what will happen? Then we have the moment of like where it gets boring, okay? So right here, it goes down. This is maybe the first 20 days. And then the 20 days after, boom. You will get cultured, okay? The hardships come. Your first struggles in the market come. Your first struggles in the gym come, okay? This is the moment where 99% stops. Why? Because it's not motivation anymore. The motivation is gone. And this is when you need to switch from motivation to discipline. And this is one of the things that almost no one can do unless you understand the Kruger effect. Where you understand at the end of the day, I know that this phase is coming, so this is the moment when I have to stick through. This is the moment when I have to do things when I'm tired, when I have to do things when I'm unmotivated, okay? Once you go through this phase, you will get rewarded by the expert level, okay? Where the confidence gap will be from less explosive to actually feeling confident because you know what you're doing now. Now, when we're looking at this, let's start with health. A healthy man has 100 dreams, while a sick man only has one. This is something that I've always been praising on my Instagram, online, and all of the places. But unfortunately, I've seen it twice happen in my own life. My biological father, he died when I was 18, and now 3 months ago, my stepfather, who literally raised me since I was 3, passed away as well. And they both said this. They both said, Camille, I really wish that I could be longer in your life. At the end of the day, a man with a sick man only has one dream, okay? While a healthy man has 100. He says, I don't care what you do in life, just make sure that your health is in check. And when he told me this, I wasn't healthy at all, as you guys seen in the first picture. I had, again, just obese. So someone is praying to get your body at the moment, okay? The only thing that you cannot buy in life is a six-pack, unfortunately, okay? It's something that you have to work for, and it's something that, that most of the time is just the price of having discipline. I looked around at all of my friends who are worth more than 100 million and asked myself, what do they all have in common? And funny enough, all of them literally have one thing in common, and that is that they are all focusing on their health. Well, this is something that I've always been ignoring. When you're looking at the trilemma of success, health, wealth, and relationships, one almost always goes down. And for me, this has always been health, okay? Until the moment of realization when I realized, okay, this is something that is 20 times more important than I actually thought. So I have to make a change in this, okay? Now, when you're looking at my journey, I just started, man. I didn't have a coach, I just had a goal. Was this the most optimal way? 100% not. Did I lose muscle? Most definitely, okay? Did I care about it? To be honest, no. Actually, I didn't. Why? At the end of the day, I just wanted to win from the devil inside of me, and I'm still on the way. So how did I did it? I just stepped into the mirror every single day, and with mirror, I mean scale. Every single day, I stood on the scale and asked myself, okay, what is my current rate? Every Sunday, I would reflect on the past week and ask myself, did I cheat anywhere? The first 4 weeks, I didn't had any single cheat day. After that, I just did one cheat day every single week. After every 4 weeks, I made a picture. I eat 2200 calories a day and I do 2 trainings a day. 1 time strength, 1 time cardio. Should you have some rest days? No, most probably. I didn't do it, guys. I'm not a personal trainer. I'm not interested to be a personal trainer. I'm just a day trader, okay? And the only thing that I know was that this kind of saved my life, okay? So when you're looking at wealth, wealth is I want you to focus on one thing, I want you to have clear targets, and I want you to not tell anyone. Let's go quickly through these points. The one thing, success is focusing on one thing at a time. One of the biggest problems people make these days is they are focusing on 20 business models at the same time. So they think, yeah, okay, and if I have my dropshipping store, then with that money, I'm going to start branding it one day. But because, of course, I need capital for this, I'm going to trade on the side. And how do I get capital for my trading? Okay, I will have a YouTube automation on the side as well, and this and this and this. And they have 20 business models. One of the biggest problems with this is it might work a bit, but you will never ever reach real highs with all of them. You will always be average at just a couple of them instead of reaching the one high. When I'm looking at life, one of the most important things is that you focus on one thing. So if you're watching this video and you want to become a trader, focus on just trading. Don't focus on 20 other business models. Focus on one strategy in trading. Okay? The only way to go to your goal fast is by focusing on one thing. One of the best books about this, guess, it's The One Thing. Okay? Now, goals. This is just a very simple one. Okay? SMART goals. Make sure that your goal is specific. Okay? So set real numbers with real deadlines. Make it measurable. Make sure that the goal is actually trackable. So don't hide behind buzzwords like brand engagement, but be like very clear in what you want. Make it attainable. Work towards a goal that is challenging but possible. So don't say, hey, I want to become a billionaire next month. Or don't say, hey, I have 50 euros in my bank now and I want to become a millionaire in the next 3 months. Don't do it like this, okay? Make it attainable. So make it realistic as well. Be honest. So know for yourself, okay, I have X amount of time in the day. So this is realistic and time bound, okay? Give yourself a clear deadline. That is what I always do with the 90 days. Now, don't tell anyone. The people with more money than you, they really don't care about what you are going to do and what you are about to earn. The people who have less than you, they will only feel jealous and they will feel envious. So don't say anything and protect your energy in this. If you finally made it, there will be signs. Just be very generous and there will be signs that you actually made it. Walk the talk first. What they don't know, they can't destroy. A lot of people, they always say, yeah, no, but listen, my family doesn't believe in me and this and this and this. One of the biggest reasons why most probably they don't believe in you is because you never actually showed them that you are worth it. So you most probably said to them, yeah, and I'm going to achieve this, this, and this, and you never actually did it. So if you come up to them after time 100 and say, yeah, no, the upcoming 90 days I'm going to change my life, of course they won't believe in you. What I say is just do it and afterwards you show the results, okay? So when you're looking at relationships, we have the 80-20 rule, we have the don't be a leech, and we have insurance. Now, 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, you spend it with people that will bring you up, okay? So ask yourself, the people who you currently hang around with, do they get the best in, do they bring up the best in you? Yes or no? If you have the feeling that every single time you went to your friends and it was just hanging around and it was more draining your energy than actually it was a beneficial thing, maybe it's time to say, okay, I'm going to decrease that time a bit. I'm not completely cutting them out of my life. I think if you do that, it makes you a pretty unloyal guy. I just say decrease it and find people who are actually bringing you up in energy and bringing you up in your goals, okay? 20% of the time, spend it with the people you need to be loyal to. So, for example, your friends from back in the days. Keep this balance in order to grow. It won't be easy. Why? Because you will understand and find out that this 20% is decreasing more in most people their lives than they think. Now, in networking, never ever be a leech. Always have value to add and never receive without giving. It might work once, but you don't make any impact. So what I'm talking about is some people, they really want to meet interesting people. They are maybe going to a network event or they get introduced by someone to someone else who they wanted to meet. And now the biggest problem is that they went to that person, they got a lot of information from this person, but they didn't give any back towards this person. They were just a leech. So when they leave the meeting, the guy who they just spoke to or the group who they just went to, they won't think, hey, I'm going to invite him over again. Why? Because you didn't give any value towards them. I want you to understand, if you want to make a long-lasting relationship, always make sure that you have some value to add. A present always goes a long way. Well, what I mean with this is, if you find, if you meet someone new, always just come, like I always say, never come empty-handed. Why? Because at the end of the day, when you're giving a present, you're basically planting a seed, and if someone sees it in his house, he will always think, hey, I got this from him. Okay, so you're basically just planting a seed. Now, insurance. What I mean with this picture is very simple. When you're looking at your relationships, make sure that it works like a insurance, where you have a group of, for example, 4 guys who you are working with, okay? If you see that one of the guys who you are working with is slipping a bit, if you see that one of the guys who you are working with is putting less energy into the work as usual, if you see he is getting drained by other people, their energy, save him. Okay? You are the one who can see it from a helicopter perspective, and you can save him out of this situation. You take him out and you say, hey, this was your vision in the beginning, let's continue. This works like insurance. Why? Because once you save him there, you might end up in such a situation as well, and you always want someone to stand next to you right here. This is one of the reasons why in my one-on-one program, I still link people who are in the one-on-one program as well together. Okay, so it's like one big insurance. This is one of my biggest goals. Okay, if you, by the way, want to know more about what I do, and if you want to work together with me, down I literally have a option where you can directly book in a call and see if we are the right fit to work together, or you can join the free school and see what I actually do when it comes down to trading. Now, the 20-20-20 rule. You will have 20 days of motivation, you will have 20 days of hardship, and you will have 20 days of habit. You just need to stick through. What I mean with this, it's very simple. The first 20 days in the Kruger effect are always easy, okay? You will feel motivated, you will have all of these YouTube videos, and you will feel like you're going to entirely change your life. What will happen then is the next 20 days is the moment when it gets hard. It's the moment when you already see some results, but that voice in you is telling you, yeah, okay, but you can slow down a bit. Yeah, no, okay, but why are you actually doing this? Isn't it a bit too much? Isn't it a bit too crazy? You will hear it from other people as well. This is the moment when you need to stick through. Why? Because the other 20 days are the moments of habit, okay? And that is when everything becomes easier, and this is when your life just becomes, in my opinion, one of the best ones, okay? Now, to end this up with, I want to give some lessons of my father. When I'm looking at my father, he was one of the most special guys I've been able to meet in my entire life. And before he went, he said, Camille, like he was my biggest fan in what I'm doing, what I'm sharing about trading, and that I'm sharing the reality of trading. And he was always one of my biggest watchers. And he said, okay, I want you to give a couple of lessons to your followers. And I said, of course, I will. So there we are. I want you to always be yourself no matter what happens. He said at the end of the day, you need to be yourself. And if people like it or not, that's how you can see who cares about you instead of the ego they have around them. Okay? So he said, when you work hard in the beginning, you won't be cool. But work so hard that you will get so rich that at one day they will think you are cool. Okay? When you're looking at Elon Musk, in the beginning he wasn't a cool guy. But because he just stick through and he became so rich with being himself, now people read books to become like this guy. When you're looking at Jeff Bezos, exactly the same. When you're looking at all of the successful people, they are always cringe in the beginning, but they are at least themselves. When you're looking at this, never ever pretend to be someone else for someone else. Always be yourself, because that's the only way to live a sustainable life. It is better to be hated for doing what you love than to be loved for doing what you hate, okay? When you're looking at life, Always go for the things that you love to do, because at the end of the day, that is the most sustainable way to go about it. So yes, sometimes, for example, a job may pay 2K less than the other one, but if it's something you genuinely love to do, then you will find more growth in it, and at one moment it will pay you more. Fulfillment comes from helping others. This is something I've found out when I became rich at a pretty young age. I became a millionaire when I was 18 and a multi-millionaire when I was 19. And there were moments when I was sitting behind my desk and I thought like, what now? Like it was always my goal to become rich, so I wasn't a poor guy anymore. Then I was rich, and then I realized, okay, now I have all of this money, and what am I going to do now? When I'm looking at my father, one of his biggest things in life is he just always wanted to help other people, because he was very sick, okay? Like my entire life, he always was struggling with his health. Every single time when he wanted to start something, his health would go down, and he didn't have the energy to finish that. So instead of that, he tried to help other people. And he said that was where my biggest fulfillment came from in life. Never half do something, always go all in. He said, listen, when you're looking at life, don't do something half, okay? If you made the decision to go all in on trading, cut out all of the noise and go all in. Don't do it for 1 hour a day. Get every single hour you have besides your normal job and go all in. If you are loving your wife, go all in. Don't half do it, okay? Every single thing you do in life, never ever half do something, but go all in. Guys, this is the video. I hope that you liked it. If you want to see more of the reality of day trading, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Again, if you want to work together, just go to one of the links below. Like this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Ciao, ciao.